Hello!
Welcome back to RCX Unwrapped. Here are the books we read in March.
Good luck. It's a big stack.
I left the house this morning and I was like, wow, I didn't read much in March.
You left everything
I
here.
left everything.
Per usual, this will be the test show.
Yay! But you read a bunch of things
I
too.
read 12.
That's awesome.
But look how tiny some of them are.
God, it still counts.
I know, I counted it.
I read a picture book the other day and I was like, that works.
It counts.
That counts.
It's still reading.
Yeah, it's fine. Oh my god. Okay.
You should start
I guess we should. I read How to Talk to Your Succulent by Zoe Persis, perhaps? This was so cute. So it's about the main character's name is Adara, and her mother has just died. And her mother has left her all of these plants, right? And she moves in with her dad's mom, her grandma. And so she and her dad are living there, and it's a really awesome book about like the different types of conversations and how important it is to communicate properly. I feel like everybody in the book definitely had lots of issues with communication, and obviously after something traumatic has happened, it makes things hard. But I felt it was really cool that we not only saw her reaction to everything that was going on, but also her dad's and her grandma's. And of course there's a little talking succulent, and so Adara discovers that all of the plants can talk, and so she uses that to like feed me Seymour. She uses that to like reconnect with her mom through talking to plants. And it's also about her special little succulent Pearl, who also has trouble communicating what she needs. And it's super cute. The art is adorable.
I love her little nose.
Loved it so much. So please go read it. Yes.
Oh, we're gonna talk about these back to back.
Oh yeah.
By the same person.
Wow.
I read Just Friends by Anna Oncina, which was delightful.
Yes.
I wish it was in color like Planeta, because the colors in that
are really pretty.
So pretty. But I really liked the structure of this book, how they were friends reminiscing on their time in camp, and that there were maybe more feelings there, but they're just friends. The first time it switched from the past to the present, I was really confused, but I got the hang of it pretty quickly. The art is still great. It's just manga, so it's in black and white. I loved it. I love a friendship story.
Me too.
Friends to lovers story.
I mean, that's my favorite.
Yeah. It was really, really good.
That's awesome. Yeah, I read this one
last year, probably.
a while ago. I don't quite remember, but it was really, really good. But I need to reread it.
After I read Planeta, I was like,
yes.
oh, they have another book I have to read.
Yes.
Planeta, though?
Planeta, and I don't think anything will actually beat this book.
That was so good.
This is the greatest sci-fi book I have read in forever. Oh my god, it felt like an episode of The Twilight Zone, and that's kind of how I base all of my like sci-fi books. I'm like, could this have functioned? Yeah. It's really good. We talked about it last month, so you kind of get the gist if you watched last month. But yeah, it's really, really good, and the art is gorgeous. It changes from these like bright kind of monotone colors, which makes no sense. I shouldn't have said those were two words together.
Pink and green.
It's pink and green, and then when it's in the real world, or what we are told is the real world, it's different color scheme.
It's a very fall-esque.
Yes.
Autumn-esque.
Yes. The characters are wonderful. The story is insane. Like, I don't know what I was expecting, but it was very, very, very,
I'm glad
very
you
good.
read it.
It is so freaking good. Yeah. One of the greatest things I've read in a while.
Highly recommend
please read this. Please.
Highly. I read Speak Up Santiago by Julio, Anta, and Gabi Mendez. And apparently this is going to be a new series, a Hillside Valley graphic novel. And so Santi goes to Hillside Valley for the summer to stay with his grandma. And the main goal he has is to work on his Spanish, because he's not very good at it, or he doesn't feel like he's very good at it. And along the way, he makes some new friends. They play soccer. I love the relationship he had with his grandma, and he thinks that she's gonna judge him for his Spanish not being very good, and she doesn't, except for the aunties kind of like make comments, and he gets really insecure. But I like how they handled it. He just doesn't feel Colombian enough, and I love the food and the culture, and like what was really great is I think this would be a good bilingual, someone learning either language, because a lot of the conversations are written in both languages, Spanish and English.
Well, that's very cool.
So like you can learn like how to say some things as well. So I love a book that's educational without feeling educational.
Yes.
It was great. And Julio Anta wrote a bunch of other books. Blue Beetle.
Oh, really?
So this is their first middle grade, I believe. And
Very
it was
cool.
amazing.
That's awesome.
Love it so much.
Very good. Very good.
Love it so much.
I read The History of Everything by Victoria Evans. This was, like you were talking about earlier, a friendship story. So it's about these two girls, Daisy and Agnes, and they are best friends. But then, in a typical friendship story, one of them has to move away.
Yes.
I think it's Agnes is forced to move away. And so they spend the summer kind of like going back and forth on their friendship, and also how they're growing as people, and how maybe, how do I put it? They weren't all that each other needed. For the longest time, they were attached at the hip, and that was all they could have ever wished for, and it's how they viewed the future, was they were together forever and ever and ever. But this book is kind of them realizing that's not really true. And, boys and friends and other people get in the way.
Everything.
Boys ruin everything. But it was really, really good. The art is also really cool. I thought it was going to be more of like a purple scheme, but it's kind of all over the place, which I really, really liked. And like I said, I just love a friendship story where they're like still friends in the end. Yes.
I read it last month and didn't have a physical copy to talk about.
So here, do you want to talk about it?
Everything she said.
Everything I
No, I love the art, and the ending I wasn't sure was going to happen that way. So yeah, they stayed friends. They learn how to communicate.
Yes.
Or they need to learn how to communicate.
Yeah.
And I think that whole point of the summer was them learning how to communicate. Because their friendship would not survive the move if they did not learn how to talk to each other. And so that was very, very important.
Very good.
Very
good.
I had to go to another store and buy this.
Oh! Because it never showed up.
It never showed up.
I was looking forward to that too. Who even knows?
Travesty.
I guess I should go again. I read, so the first week of the month is always full of like young adult books. So we're getting into that stack right now.
So many good things
that came out in the same week. So I read You Belong Here. So it's definitely like a coming of age, and not a whole lot happens. But I kind of like that. It's a little bit more low-key than like an adventure novel, So it's about the main character. Her name is Essie, and it's her first day of senior year, and she's really just over it, and she wants to leave and get out of her small town, right? Classic. She is dealing with a lot of family issues. Her brother is currently in rehab. And so there's a lot of like emotional turmoil over that, and her teachers ask her about her brother and all of these things because they went to the same school. So it's her trying to escape from that. She's in theater, so she does a lot of like auditioning and stuff, and she ends up flopping her dream college, which is more, emotional turmoil. And then she meets a boy, and it's always about a boy. Why? But it wasn't annoying like sometimes it is, you know, when a boy is involved. It was kind of them discovering like who they are together and how they're probably incompatible, but also definitely I read a lot about like emotional growth this month, I think.
You had more YA than you had been reading recently.
Yes, which is so good, I've been so focused on reading as much like superhero stuff as possible. But I'm like,
Take a break.
No, that's so much. It's a lot. But yeah, the art is really pretty. It's
all blue.
All blue. And yeah.
I wanted to read that one and I just didn't get to it.
It's very good. It's very good.
So good.
Hooray.
I read Huda F Wants to Know by Huda Fahmy. This is the third book in her, I don't know if it's going to be more, but they're not nonfiction, but they're based on her family. And in this one, her parents are getting a divorce, which in Muslim cultures, it's really frowned upon. So she has to deal with all the aunties in church talking about, oh my gosh, I can't believe they're getting a divorce, and all the social pressures and, you know, how she's coping with it. And am I the drama? Yes. Also, all of her sisters were dealing with it differently, and they just want to do things together as a family, and that's going to look different now. Her sisters are so much fun. And I love, I want to point this out. Hold on, I gotta find it. One of her sisters wants to stay, like, super anonymous. So she draws her, like, why can't I find it? It's just, like, an outline. There's no features on her at all.
I love that.
So I think that's really fun. And it had a lot to do with her and her best friend, too, and them communicating with each other. She does a really good job. She adds humor into it, and I always love how she points out, no, I don't sleep in my hijab. I'm just not going to draw me without it on. So, like, stuff like that,
I love that
is really, really well done.
That's awesome.
Her parents side-eyeing each other is great.
I love it. I love her humor in her books. It's
do.
So good. I might have to steal that one. Next I read Strange Bedfellows. This one I was so excited about because, like, look at the art. It is so colorful, and, like, look at that cover. Look at it. A lot of, like, books or graphic novels are, like, two-tone or, like, one different color, and I don't hate that. That's great. Do what you need to do, but I love a full color book. Okay, so this book is about, oh my gosh, what is his name? So our main character's name is something. And God, what is his name? I think his name is Oberon. And so he is the only one of his siblings that doesn't have, like, magical powers. So, okay, let me go back a little bit. So it's a brand new universe, right? Earth is gone. And everybody has moved to this new planet or this new universe or something. And it's like, he is a part of the first generation to be born on this planet. So there's a lot of talk about, from, like, the parents talking about how good kids these days have it and all of that stuff. And there's a lot of discussions about what happened before they moved to this planet. All very cool. But what's really cool is the different powers that the children are being born with. And like I said earlier, he is the only one of his siblings that doesn't. Come to find out, he does have a strange little power. And he is able to conjure up his dreams in the real world. So, like, whatever he dreamed about last night, he can make in the real world. Yes, exactly. And yeah, then he meets a boy.
Stupid boys.
Stupid boys. I really like this one, though. He was really sweet, and his name is Khan, and they actually dated for a little while, years ago, but then Khan disappeared, and no one had heard from him for a little while. All of a sudden, Khan pops back up as soon as Oberon's powers start manifesting. And yeah, it's really, really interesting. I I very much like it. It was definitely a sci-fi, not as good as Planeta, but still really, really good. So I highly recommend.
I love the colors.
It's just like, it's heartbreaking, but it's also just silly and fun, and I really needed that this month. We both read Kirby's Lessons for Falling in Love
by Laura Gow.
Yes! Oh my god.
And I want to show you how pretty the naked
Is it
cover
pretty?
is.
Oh my god!
So you were talking about colors.
Mm-hmm,
This one is two-tone.
which I love.
So it's all pinks and purples.
Very cool.
Pinks and purples. So
Yes!
Kirby is a rock climber, and they have a great fall and injure their wrist.
Mm-hmm.
And so they have to find something to do with their time that doesn't involve rock climbing. And
So they join a club.
yes, and they did not get along with the main person in the club. What's their name?
Bex.
Bex.
Mm-hmm.
Did not get along at
No.
first.
Not at all.
But they start becoming friends.
Yes.
And maybe falling
Maybe
in
falling
love.
in love. It's really sweet, and it's, I forget how, I keep saying like it's a coming of age, and I
is,
forget
though.
that I read mostly young adult this month.
It is a coming of age.
It is, and I forget how much I love a coming of age story.
I love it.
It was very, very good.
It's one of those where there's not a lot of plot. It's just people living their lives and character-driven story.
It's very character driven, which I love. Yeah.
The art was really, really pretty on some panels, and then some panels it seemed really messy.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if that was done on purpose. I'm trying to find the scene of them on the roof. That was like my favorite part.
Yes.
But they're looking at the stars. Like, that's really pretty. But I love the
some of
color
them are
palette.
just like a little bit more sketchy. I
Yeah.
think.
I'm assuming it was done like that on purpose. I just don't know why.
Mm-hmm. It was still really, really good.
Still really, really good.
Very good.
Oh, show. Oh, show.
Want me to go again?
Keep going.
Okay, so I didn't actually read all of this, but I read most of it. It's really thick, as you can see. So DC's been doing these things where they're reprinting like the most iconic storylines for characters. So this is a reprint of the first 25 issues of Action Comics, and I thought it was a really great time to read that with the Superman movie coming out, and I wanted to know more about the character. It's delightful. I say this about every book. I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't this. It is so, like...
Is this the oldest comics you've read?
Yes. Well, I mean, it's the first Superman,
Yeah.
so it's...
It's like the oldest comics you've read.
1937 or whatever. And just like the way stories were told back then and the way comics were formatted is really interesting. And like how far we've come in terms of like panel placement and necessary words. What I also really loved about it is how like kind of thrown together it was. It definitely like wasn't edited at all, so a bunch of the words are misspelled, and there are a couple like mistakes in the drawing and grammar wise, and I just thought that was really like endearing, because it shows like they just put their all into these comics and didn't really care who else read them, and it ended up being, you know, the greatest superhero of all time, and it's so silly. So one of them is about, so there's a really dangerous mine, right? And Superman has to go down and rescue these people that got trapped in the mine. Now, the guy who owns the mine doesn't want them to, like, shut down the business, right? Because it's making him money and he's safe, so why should things stop?
Capitalism.
So Superman disguises himself as a very fancy rich person and goes to one of this guy's parties, or at the mine, or at one of the guy who owns the mine's parties, right? And he convinces everybody to go down into the mine for sightseeing. And then he traps them down there. And then he rescues them and all of that. And the guy who owns the mine is like, I will never put anybody in those conditions ever again. And I just thought, like, wow, I
Learn
want
your
more of
lesson.
that.
Learn the hard way.
Learn your hard lesson, yes. And then there's another bit where he's realizing, like, how terrible the town he lives in is, and how the streets are everybody is super poor, and housing is just not a thing. And then he reads an article from the town over where a huge hurricane hit and knocked all the buildings down or something like that. And the government paid for them to put the buildings back up, and, like, new buildings or whatever. I don't know what I'm saying. So Superman decides to tear down every building in town.
Wow.
So the government is forced to rebuild it. Obviously, this is like 1940, so that would never happen again. But I just love how destructive he is in the early books. I just think it's so silly. Yeah, those are very good.
And you can go.
I guess I'll continue. I also read Supergirl by Peter David. This was insane. So, whew.
Did you read Fallen Angel yet?
I have not read Fallen Angel yet. No. Okay, so Supergirl basically dies and accidentally, or somehow, how do I say it? Somehow, like, binds herself to Linda Danvers, right? And so she is both Supergirl and Linda Danvers at the same time, and she can kind of, like, change her appearance based on who she's being at the time. And so it's about her trying to live her life as Linda Danvers and maintain her family relationships and her friends and all of that jazz, but also being Supergirl, you know? And, you know, it's the typical, like, Linda's parents hate Supergirl for whatever reason. So she can never, like, come clean to them about who she actually is now, even though Linda Danvers has been dead for a while. And yeah, it was really, really intense and very, very good. It was really good. I just love Supergirl so much. And I love what she stands for, and I love what she does, and she's just awesome. So, you should definitely read it.
I read Boys Run the Riot Volume 1. I'm not really sure what I was expecting, but I was not expecting a clothing brand.
Yeah, me neither.
It was really surprising, but they call their brand Boys Run the Riot, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the whole, what the name comes from. So these two are kind of outcast, and they start a clothing brand, and that's how they become friends.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all about them trying to make shirts and
other manga nonsense.
it was, yeah, pretty ridiculous. But the main character is trans, and so that's why I picked it up for the trans readathon.
Yes.
And I'm not sure if I'll continue the series. It's something like, I'm glad I read it finally to see what it was about, but I don't know if I like the characters enough to continue.
Yes, I read all of it, and it was fine. You don't find a lot of manga featuring trans characters. So I'm glad I read it.
The creator himself is a trans man, so I appreciate that. The storyline,
it's a little weird.
but it's fine.
Yeah.
I don't really have much to say. And they make friends with this other kid. I don't remember his name. That's a photographer, and I got so mad when they ruined his camera.
They did.
So
Like,
freaking mad.
Come on.
Seriously. But yeah, I keep picking it up backwards. If you are interested in any of the things that I just said, this book may be for you.
This book may be for you, yeah.
I'm gonna take that one back.
Next I read volume 1 of Man Eaters. This was one that Tommy was like, you have to read this, you're a woman.
Oh, good.
And I didn't end up reading any more. I think I got caught up in other things while I was here. So it's about a universe where when women first get their period, they have a chance to turn into these giant cats that eat people. And that's brilliant. I love how afraid men are in this book.
Men are afraid of periods, and now they're really afraid of women with periods.
Yes. And so it's about a young girl, and she lives with her father alone. And so no mom to like talk to about any of this. And you know, she gets her period and she's trying to keep it a secret because she doesn't want people to think she's gonna turn into a man-eater.
She's a man-eater.
Yeah, it was.
I feel like it gets better.
It probably does. Yes.
But I don't think I read the newest one.
Yeah, I probably need to read the rest of it.
Yeah.
So. But yeah.
Wild.
It's insane. I enjoyed it a lot.
I read Band Book Club by Sook. And this is based on her own experience growing up in Korea and joining a band book club in school. And that's how they're fighting against the regime. And it was wonderful seeing what they were reading. Also was kind of surprising because it's a lot of American books. And I was like, oh, wow, they're reading that. Like, I don't know anything about what books they have access to. So that was really interesting. And I didn't know this, but No Rules Tonight is a follow-up to this.
Oh, really?
You read that, didn't you?
I have not read that yet.
I thought you did. But No Rules Tonight is a follow-up, so I'm definitely going to be reading that. And then they have another book coming out this year that I think is in the same vein, too.
Very cool.
So, my only thing, the printing has random, like, blackouts. And I was like, what are they saying? Hold on, of course I can't find it now. Like, this whole page was blacked out by accident. Which is kind of funny because it goes with the censorship. So I had to get the digital copy to read that page. But, I'm very glad I read this. And it talks about South Korea's republic regime, the military, all that stuff. And, like, how people literally go to jail just for reading books. Because anything to teach people about rights and wrongs is bad.
Yeah.
So very, very good.
Very nice.
Very good.
Yeah. Now we're getting into all of like the superhero stuff I read this month. So I read The Boy Wonder. So this is the story. This is about Damian Wayne, one of the Robins, right? And I really like this guy's art. Is it Juniba or I don't remember how to say his name. I'm sorry. But his art is very unique and it's just really, really cool, right? And so this story, gosh, it's kind of Damian just interacting with all of the other Robins, and each issue deals with him interacting with like a different Robin, and it's told like a fairy tale story, you know, like very once upon a time this happened and this happened. And in between the storylines, it's this kid who has been kidnapped telling this story, and we're not sure if it's Damian until like the very end, right? And yeah, if you really like the Robins, this is a great story.
Green.
It's very green. It's very fun. Is it a fun thing? Can't remember. Oh yeah, it's a pretty fun. Sorry, I didn't mean to like hit you there. But yeah.
Watson's kicking me.
How dare he?
You
can say hi.
He's sleeping.
But yeah, this was pretty good.
And keep going.
I guess I can keep going. I read the first volume of Ex Machina by Brian K. Vaughan. This was okay. I think. Okay, so it's about this. So it's about this guy, Mitchell, and he gets into a strange accident that gives him powers to control machines and like machinery and whatnot. And he can like talk to it and it talks to him. He's also a political figure. So it's him managing and trying not to abuse this power. And hey man, and also like, I don't know, be a good townsperson, right? The main focus of this story is it basically starts at 9/11. He saved the second tower from falling with his machine powers. And yeah, it's a really excellent like premise for a book. I think the first volume was just a little slow for me. And there was a lot of like political talk, and I was like, I kind of just want the story, please. But yeah, I'm sure I'll finish reading it at some point, and maybe it will get better. But yeah,
Maybe.
who knows?
I read Going Under by Zviane. That's a pen name, and I'm probably saying it wrong. Sorry. But this is about the mental breakdown.
Cute!
Right? So it's going under is a metaphor for feeling like you're drowning. And after we did a writing cars with books episode on this, and after that I realized that it is a second-hand account of a mental breakdown. It's not the author's own experience, it's someone that they know. And I thought it was illustrated very well. Like, it felt very real, and it kind of goes back and forth between like the present day of how now she's come out of this particular mental breakdown, and then like her going through it. And I mean, there's like a part where she's just, there's nothing, and I think that says a lot.
Yes, it does.
And just my favorite part though was like when she was meeting people, she would tell you these little things about the people, like from the future. It was like, oh, now they're married with kids, or now she's died of lung cancer. But you learn, spoiler alert, all of that was made up. So that was kind of a symptom of her mental illness, and I was like, that's really interesting.
I want to borrow this one, thank you.
Yeah, you can, of course. And I have another one of their books I want to read. But
Very cool, very
I
cool.
recommend this. It was very well done, a really good illustration of what a mental breakdown can look like for one person. Of course, it's not everyone's experience, but it was very, very good.
Yay! Next I read Hawkeye by Matt Fraction. This was when Philip was like, you should read this. I don't know if you'll like it, but you should read it. And it was pretty okay. I didn't know a whole lot about Hawkeye, and he's definitely a guy. He's definitely a man.
Such a dude.
He's just definitely a dude. And he's just kind of miserable. I feel like a lot of Marvel characters are just miserable.
Right?
Because I look at, like, Daredevil and Hawkeye and all of these
Dudes.
all of these sad men. And I'm like, that's fine, but whatever. My favorite bits were, obviously with Kate Bishop. I love her a lot. It's definitely, like, they're easy stories. It's not like, it doesn't have a huge overarching story. Like, I read just the first volume and I was satisfied. So each issue deals with different things with like an interconnected story throughout it, which I like. But my favorite part is there is an entire issue told from the perspective of the dog.
Pizza dog.
Pizza dog.
Pizza dog. Oh, I should have got the little
know.
Lego for you.
Oh my god.
We have a little Lego pizza dog.
I don't know where it is, but yeah, that was the best part. It was very good. Oh yeah, here. So a bunch of pictures, and then all the speech bubbles are like blurred out except for certain words, you know, that the dog understands, like idiot and bro. And
Bro.
I just think that was probably my favorite part.
Of course.
Very good. I'll go again. And then another one that Tommy was like, you should read this, was We Stand on Guard, also by Brian K. Vaughan. This is like, what if America went to war on Canada? So it's a little bit
Might happen.
It's a timely read, definitely. It was really intense, and it was scary, and I mean, that's kind of the whole gist of it, is there are these people who are fighting against America. America's being really irrational, you know. Never heard of that before. But it was decent. I think everybody dies in the end, so you have to realize that. But it's definitely an interesting read. If you can stomach it.
I read Daydreamer by Bones, which is just a fanzine about Arcane.
Oh.
Which I didn't know that when I read it. And I know nothing about Arcane. But apparently these characters are from Arcane, and it's just a little bit more about their relationship.
Yeah,
But
Victor.
It's very beautiful. I love Bowen McCurdy's work, so that's why I got it from their Etsy shop. And no regrets, I just had no idea who these people are.
Wow. That's so much fun. I haven't seen all of Arcane, but those are my 2 favorite characters.
Well, you can borrow that one.
Thanks. Okay, this was really good. So this is Wonder Woman Historia. It is all based in Greek mythology and kind of how like the female gods are trying to separate themselves from the male gods, right? And it's essentially the creation of the Amazons. So it's all of like, this is before Diana was born. So this is definitely like a, how do you explain it? I don't even know. History! That's a great word! Oh my god. But yeah, it was really good. The art is stunning. Let me find...
You're so
like,
wiggly today.
Look at that. It's freaking gorgeous. And all the art is like that. And it's written really, really beautifully.
It's dazzling.
Dazzling. Yeah,
Wow.
it's really good. If you really like Wonder Woman, you'll really like this. Or if you just really like Greek mythology, you'll really like this. All of like the character design. Oh my god.
Nicole Scott did this, didn't she?
I think so.
Yeah.
Or no, yep. There you are. All the character designs are gorgeous. And look at that. Very good book if you like women. Anyways. Very good, very good. Highly recommend.
I read Belly Full of Heart by Madeline Mouse, which is another zine-ish kind of book. It's published by Silver Sprocket, so you know it's gonna be weird. It was kind of like shortish stories, vignettes, but they're all pretty queer.
Yeah.
And they're different like character animals throughout. The art is just very fun, and like I'm not really sure what this person is. They have wings and everything's just
very stylized.
I don't really know what to say about this.
It's very pretty though.
It was, yeah, a lot of fun. Like these cars kissing each other.
Aww. I love it.
Your bumper comes real close to my back sometimes. I wish you keep going, keep driving into me.
That's amazing.
So that was a lot of fun.
Oh, I like that a lot. Very cute, very cute. Before we get to the most important book of the month, I read The Impending Blindness of Billy Scott. This is by Zoe Thorogood. So obviously the book is about the impending blindness of Billy Scott. So Billy accidentally, or no, somebody hits her and knocks her down, and she starts seeing like black spots in her vision, and she's just like, I don't have health insurance, I can't, or I don't have the money to like go to the doctor or anything like that. And so she just deals with it for a while. Eventually it gets worse, right? And she can barely see. So she goes to the doctor, and the doctor's like, if you had come sooner, we might have been able to save your vision, but now you're just going blind completely. And you could go blind at any moment. And so obviously that's an insane thing to hear, and it's the same thing to happen to you.
Yeah.
And she's an artist, right? So if she's blind, how can she create art? So she sets off on a literal journey, right, to discover who she is and to deal with this traumatic incident, right? She wants to see things before she cannot see anything anymore. And she meets a bunch of really cool different people, and she makes it her her mission to draw different types of people. And hey there, man.
Bless you.
And so it's a really interesting journey, and it ends really nicely. And I really like Zoe Thorogood's art. It's very, I like the way she draws people. Let me see here. I love all like the micro details and whatnot.
I love the cover.
Very, very.
Oh, we have a signed book plate.
You do, yeah. Very cool, very cool. And yeah, it was really good.
I still need to read that.
All right.
And our favorite
Of the month. The
song for you and I.
It's K. O'Neill. We knew it was gonna be the greatest thing we'd ever read ever. Oh my god, it's even gorgeous. Oh, that's beautiful.
This is my second time reading it. I read it digitally when I got an advance copy because I could not wait.
Yes.
And then I read it again this month when it came out. I liked it even better the second time.
Oh, it's so good. It's
a warm hug.
Yes.
I love the characters.
The character designs are just gorgeous.
Rowan and Leon?
I think so.
Are the main characters. And there is a Pegasus called Kestrel, which I'll never forget because the little thing that I measure the temperature outside with is called a Kestrel.
Really? I love that.
The art is just so freaking beautiful. Of course.
It's so cute. And like the character designs are just
I mean, even the little donkey!
literally all of the little animals and stuff are drawn with like such care and like freaking look at that.
Ugh, they do draw tea dragons.
Yes.
So that's their specialty. But about the book, just read it.
Yeah.
It's a journey. It's self-discovery. It's finding your place in the world. It's finding friendship and
learning to be who you want to be.
Who you're meant to be.
Who you're meant to be.
And sometimes breaking the rules.
Yes.
But, I was so sad. They like go out into the storm and Kestrel gets injured and rebuilding that trust again with human and animal.
It hurt me.
It hurt so bad, but the reason they did it was a good reason. It's just not smart.
Not smart at all. Nope.
But I don't want to spoil it.
No more spoils.
But just read it. It's beautiful.
It's gorgeous. It's amazing. It's the best thing.
I have a K. O'Neill shrine.
Yes.
That's what Philip calls it. So
it's true. It's true.
This is where this is gonna go.
Heck yeah. I love it so much.
So much.
So very good.
All of their books make me want to go to New Zealand because obviously this lush greenery is based on
here.
Them in New Zealand, and it's just so beautiful.
I want to run in the hills. I want to listen to the sound of music. But yeah.
Was that your favorite of the month?
Maybe. I might actually have to give that to Supergirl.
Oh. So you just lied.
It's an honorary favorite because look at it. But yeah, Supergirl was also really good.
This is my favorite.
Yeah. I'm gonna hold up both because they were both my favorite.
Did you have a least favorite Ex Machina?
I feel like it's okay. It's okay.
It's okay.
It not everything is for everyone.
Exactly.
So.
But you should read what you know you're gonna like.
Exactly.
And try some new things.
Yes, please. Read things if you think you're not gonna like them. Like I did with Ex Machina.
Expand your horizons.
Expand your
Philip
horizons.
always complains that I never read outside my little bubble, but
I think I do. You read a lot.
This was outside my comfort zone. This, obviously, knowing nothing about it.
Yeah.
This, I read 2 manga. That's like
I'm so proud of you. Yeah. So yeah, I think we did a good job. I was very varied this month. There was a lot of stuff going on.
There's so much good stuff came out this month that I've been waiting for forever.
Yes, so many good graphic novels. So many good young adult books.
I read this to do writing in cars, and then Philip didn't read it.
Wow. So glad you read it, but Slacker indeed.
All right, Watson, do you have anything to add?
What was your top read this month? He doesn't know how to read.
He just licks everything.
He just licks everything.
Okay.
All right, I think
that
is
all.
Awesome.
We'll see you next time.